Reparations is more than a check, but the very first thing it is a check. And come this year during the midterms and in 2028, if you don't have our check, you won't get no vote.
But you get provocateurs, because anybody that is talking to somebody younger than them holding the mic, then you know that they paid agents.
Greetings, my BPPN family. Welcome to Bold Perspectives Network. I'm Mr. Red. I came across a clip from the Tim Black Show, and I watched this video, and I thought it was very interesting because it showed a problem that we have right now in the black community, and more particularly, our politics. We have a faction of black people who are actually bold, forward, progressive. We have a faction that still believe that the Democratic Party is the best vehicle for us to move through. We have a faction who is independent. We have a faction of black people who are actually Republican. We have a faction of people that are actually MAGA. And then we have a faction of young people who are completely disassociated from politics whatsoever. And what they feel should be the topics, what these young people feel that we should be talking about may not align with the old guard of black people that we've known before. Some of the civil rights icons like recently departed Jesse Jackson. And what I'm going to show you in today's video is Al Sharpton. You're going to see that Al Sharpton in this video had an opportunity to teach, had an opportunity to be patient. All Al Sharpton did in this video was basically show how the divide between young black people and older black people, show how wide that divide and that gap is. We have much to discuss. Let's strap in, let's get after it.
Tell us your name and briefly, what's on your mind?
Hey yo, as I look around this room, if you're 35 years old or younger, raise your hand. 4 people. So here's the thing, y'all in trouble. Yesterday you had Al Green up here talking about we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, and then that's going to include what he said was reparations, which by the way wasn't reparations. Reparations is more than a check, but the very first thing it is a check. And come this year during the midterms and in 2028, if you don't have our check, you won't get no vote. No check, no vote. Yeah, I know that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what's happening. All of y'all in here, with all due respect, you're beautiful, but you're old. You're not talking to the youth. You don't know how to talk to the youth. You're trying to tell us what to do. We're not having it no more. So if you want our vote, you got to come with our paper. We're not scared of Trump. We're not scared of anybody. Biden is a racist. Trump is a racist. Kamala is a racist. And if you don't have our money, you don't get our vote. Yeah, who are you? Oh, all right, yeah, so like I was saying, I'm going to land my plane right there, but the Democrats are no better than the Republicans. No check, no vote. Y'all take care. And somebody get my man a tissue. He need a tissue.
Oh, man. I understand the frustration of the younger people. I'm older myself, but I'm not that old. I'm not in the Al Greens and I'm not that, okay? I am what you call a young Gen Xer. And I understand the frustration. I like how this young man talked about reparation being more than just a check. Reparation is about making sure that there are systems in place that actually benefit and help black people out of the situations that the previous systems have put us in. And everything that we've seen now has shown that those systems can be removed and or pulled back, so that the progress that we try to make has been taken away. And what young people have felt, from what I've heard and from what I'm seeing, is that they feel like, what's the point? As this young man said, he believes that all sides are racist, all sides are against us. And you know what? How is he wrong? How is he wrong? What I mean to say is, or I should say, what I mean by that is, we have seen the vote tallies. We've seen the vote tallies. We've seen that as a black people, we are on our own. Even minority groups have voted in a majority for these people. Even though a lot of black people were given certain jobs and different statuses under, Obama and Biden, who did Biden prioritize? Biden still prioritized poor white people. And what did that do? Biden prioritized poor white people, and they still voted against Kamala later. Understand what I'm saying? The Biden administration thought that they could win over Trump's country and Trump people. And on the surface, that sounds like a great idea. Okay, let's get the majority back onto our side. Let's get them away from Trumpism into our tent. But who was it at the expense of? It was at the expense of black people, was it not? Because all of that effort went in to trying to bring them over to the tent, and they're like, yo, we didn't want to be in that tent in the first place. If that's the case, y'all could have done more for the black community who has always been there, a staple vote for the Democratic Party. So young people like this see that this system has basically robbed young people of a future. And black people have predominantly voted to help a party that hasn't done anything really in recent times to really help black people as a whole. It left behind the average black person, not those high aspiring black people, not those, hey, I'm right next to you, massive black people. It's left behind a large swath. So in the next segment, we're going to see the response that Al Sharpton gives to that young man. And Al Sharpton, in my opinion, had an opportunity to teach this young man something. Had an opportunity to reach out to this young man who feels like the older generations don't understand us younger generations. They still think that the Bidens in them and the Trumps in them and the Republicans, they are still our friends.
Yeah, man, I love this, fam. I'm gonna be honest, man, straight up. I love it because the brother's speaking with fire and intensity, and he's speaking for the people.
And then we're going to go on with the program. Our young people are rehearsing, getting ready for this afternoon is our youth day. I heard somebody talk about young people that tell them to just stay around. They're going to see two people, afternoon, all of the youth in NAN. I don't know, but you get provocateurs because anybody that's talking to somebody younger than them holding the mic, then you know that they paid agents. And if you're in the room, if you don't like me saying that, I'll say it again. Because you cannot get reparations without putting people in office that's going to pay them. Talk that ignorance somewhere else. And if you're in the room, if you don't like me saying that, I'll say it again. Because you cannot get reparations without putting people in office that's going to pay them. So talk that ignorance somewhere else.
Al Sharpton, I have a question for you. Black people have been putting the people in office that you all have told us to vote for over and over and over again. I am a middle-aged black man, and I am old enough to remember all of the people you told us to vote for. Long before you was this skinny-ass version of yourself, when you was still fat, had that crustache on your face, still got that perm, still holding on to that perm. That's okay though. We voted for the people you told us to vote for. Yet we've seen little progress or change in the black community. Yes, there are opportunities that have come along, but it hasn't helped us as a whole. If anything, the shit that you all have pushed upon us has made the black community weaker. And now we have this huge divide between men and women in the black community. We can't even agree upon how to date each other if you watch YouTube, much less the fact that we voted for the people you told us to. As a young person, you're frustrated because his generation, not necessarily him, but his generation got wealthy, got rich, got famous. and they've hoarded that wealth. Okay, they might make a few donations to United Negro College Fund and all these different things, but what have they done to really, other than be on TV, the average black person doesn't feel it? And I get it. I get frustrated with the younger generation myself. I have to deal with the younger people in my family, thinking that they know better. All young people think that they're gonna know better than the older people. But you have to understand the frustration. When I, even as a middle-aged black man, look at an Al Sharpton, I see that he's done well for himself. And so I look at it and say, you're doing so well, how is it that I'm not doing better than I'm doing right now? With all the efforts that I've put in my life, why does it feel like we're going backwards? Why does it feel like the things that you had in place to be able to get houses and cars and do it on one income, we don't have that anymore? Why is it that you all have pushed this unity agenda, but y'all won't push an economic agenda to teach more black people how to be smarter with their finances? Why haven't y'all made it a priority to teach us at the youngest level? So I get it. I get frustrated at the younger people in my family too, because I'm like, look, I'm doing all the things right and y'all not listening. You wonder why shit is fucked up for you? I'm giving you the personal example and you all don't want to follow it. I get the frustration of the older people as well. But this was a teaching opportunity. This was an opportunity not to deride that young man and to say he was a provocateur. This was a chance to say, yes, we have to vote the right people in. But this generation, the right people, are the people who are okay with keeping us black people at a certain level. And I don't know about you all, but I'm tired of that shit.
So people talking about we have been for all of our existence fighting for reparations, made every candidate pledge to it. You cannot get reparations unless you elect folk that's gonna pay it. Who you gonna pay yourself? So you can't at one hand say, but don't vote for everybody, they racist, but I want reparations. Who gonna pay you?
Now, that's a good point. This is a point that I've been trying to make on this channel and make on the new channel. I hear people say, well, we're not gonna vote no more. Then what is that gonna accomplish? Well, the vote's rigged. So what? Your people died trying to get to the polls so you had an opportunity to vote. And so now you're gonna not vote? When they were dying trying to get to the polls, and you all are dying to not do shit. Both sides are talking across each other. Two things could be true at the same time. Vote to at least honor the people that died before you. If you don't fucking think it works, then start doing the other thing that we need to do. Vote at your local level, build your local people up. Do the research and make sure that you have local people who take no money and who are fighting for you. Make your neighborhoods better by voting in people who are going to take care of those neighborhoods. But don't sit here and say you're not going to vote, because then nobody's going to give you reparations because nobody's going to care. Well, they're just going to cheat our vote anyway. Okay, then vote, and then we hold them accountable for that shit later. Nobody's going to pay. You got to understand that if every black person got their ass off the couch, every one of us, and we voted in mass, I'm not saying that we're going to sway a whole election, but there are a lot of us who don't vote, and we can sway elections at the local level, at the higher level, but you all stay home because you all don't see the importance of it. So while I may not agree with the approach of one Al Sharpton in this video, I will say this. He is right. If you don't do anything, then you should expect nothing. Yelling at these old people are not going to help. Voting in more young people to replace men like him absolutely will. Listen, I'm going to link this video down in the description below so you all can go ahead and check out the full video for yourself. The thing that I wanted to get across is exactly the thing that I said. We have to be the change that we want to see. We can sit here and say that this older generation has failed us, and if they have, what are we doing differently to make a change? Yes, sometimes no action is the best action, kind of like right now. They want us to go out in the street, they want us to be angry, they want us to mass protest, they want us to cause a demonstration, a ruckus, if you will, so that they can crack us over the head with the billy clubs, put us in their jails, and enslave us. They need us to bring that about. But if you decide You have all these special elections and all the elections coming up, and you decide you're not going to research and make sure you put the best candidates. You're not going to attend the town halls. You're not going to go talk. You're not going to knock on doors. I'm ashamed to say, but I didn't start knocking on doors until about, 4 to 6 years ago, 8 years ago? I can't remember how long ago it was. The last Bernie campaign, the one he ran against Joe Biden. I knocked on doors for Bernie. Whether y'all agree with that or not, that man has been the most consistent politician on his points, and they still stand today. But that's just my personal opinion. At least I had enough conviction to get my ass out there and do something. And I'm going to address one last thing. There are older generation of both black and white politicians that need to step aside. They just do. They were young men during the Reagan administration when the tax code was changed that basically kept people from being billionaires and trillionaires. And nobody thought to say we should probably change this tax code back because, it's unpopular to tax the rich. And now look where we're at. Remember in the movie New Jack City where they were talking about the rich is getting richer while the poor ain't getting shit? That's where we're at right now. And if you are an able-bodied black person who's able to get your ass off the couch, you're in good standing, you're not a felon, you have the ability to vote if you choose. If none of this shit changes and you chose not to vote, then you have no one to blame but yourself. You can't sit here and point fingers and say that the system is rigged and it's all messed up, but you've never voted. And I've been there when I was a young man. I didn't vote when I was a young man. Most of the time I was gone from state to state, so I just didn't really understand the whole absentee ballot thing and try to figure all that out. But I'm going to tell you, I regret that. I was wrong. So the older version of me is telling the young version of some of you, I was wrong. Can't affect change unless we become the change that we want to see. Stay vigilant. Stay engaged. Stay revolutionary.